Inflation is at an all-time high right now, and Joe Biden's disapproval ratings are there as well. According to a poll from Hart Research, his approval is just at 42%. 54% of America thinks he's not doing so hot, and he continues to blame high inflation on a growing economy. Take a listen.
And lastly, if you take a look at what economy is growing, the United States, it's growing. It has problems, mainly because of COVID and supply chain, but it's growing.
It's growing. He keeps whispering for some reason. Who thinks that's a good idea? Also, important to note, the world food prices hit a 10-year high in October, so everything's going just right. Of course, or not. Let's welcome in our Money Huddle participants today, Heather Zumaraga and Seth Denson. Heather and Seth, great to see you both.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
All right, so food prices at a 10-year high, and of course, this is the holiday season. Folks really starting to feel this now. Heather, is there any sign that the inflation and the rising food prices, is this going to stop anytime soon?
No, unfortunately, it's not. I feel like whispering for dramatic effect, and then I think it makes a much bigger statement if I whisper. So I hope you can hear me if I do, because consumer prices, like you said, increasing at the fastest rate in 13 years. Economists look at something called the core PCE, and it's really the broad measure of inflation at a 30-year high, John. And I don't think this is going away anytime soon. When you look at the reason that we saw a big red wave, it's not just education and safety. It's really because the economy was a big concern for voters as inflation really persists. For everyday Americans, the White House will claim it's a high-class problem. But how is buying food, groceries, and gas, getting gas and filling up your car, high-class problems? I don't think so. The rich really aren't impacted by meat and poultry rising by 20%, but everyday middle-class Americans are.
There's just so many weird things going on right now, Seth. I mean, you hear about this labor shortage, you've got the supply chain issues, and Joe Biden can just whisper in and say, the USA. I mean, so weird. I'm not doing it justice. I'm not making it weird enough. But, I guess maybe on paper the economy is growing, but what are we supposed to do with all these disparate economic indicators?
Yeah, I think, listen, we need to define growing. It's not growing, it's rebounding. That's the key here. The economy was down as a result of the lockdowns and shutdowns. It's just starting to come back. The problem is it's not coming back as fast as most economists expected that it would, or even the administration. If you look at GDP growth in the second quarter, it was up 6.5%, a little bit more than that. But in the third quarter, only up 2%. And why is that? Because we continue to have lockdowns. We continue to lay people off because of vaccine mandates. The key to getting the economy, global economy, back up and running is labor. That's the key. Yes, there have been droughts in South America and Asia and even some in California. Food prices, 25% of U.S. food is actually produced in California. We've had droughts. Those are normal things that are going to happen. But when you compound those with labor shortages, that's where we have a problem. Until we get people back to work, it's not going to get better.